Hello, welcome back to Excel 2016. In this series of lessons, we are going to look at advanced features in Excel, starting with the if function. The if function allows you to tell Excel what to indicate in a particular cell or group of cells if certain conditions are met. It's hard to describe in abstract. You will see it as we work on this. Before we do that though, let me quickly describe the data we have on screen. So this is treasure notes sales for the month of April, and each of the salesperson, Mario, Estacho, and so on, have their weekly sales from week 1 to 4 listed here. So the first thing we're going to do is to calculate the sum total of their sale. How much did each of these people sold in total, and after that we're going to calculate the overall total sales for all the sales people. We're also going to calculate the average sales for all the sales people, and then we're going to see if each of the sales people met the target of $40,000, the monthly goal of $40,000. So if they do, we'll tell Excel to indicate that here. That's when we use the if function. If they do meet the target, then we're going to indicate here how much they are receiving as part of the commission. The commission rate is 5%. Once we've done all that, then we're going to take on the last task to show how much each person received. There's a team bonus commission of $600 per person. We are going to indicate if the team actually made that cutoff. They can only do that if the department as a whole have a total sale of at least $220,000 and an average sale of $9,500 or more. Okay, so now that we've described the data, so let's get into it. Now first, let's start with calculating the totals for each of the salespeople. For those of you that have seen our previous video, you recall that to calculate the totals is actually very easy. You can select all the cells where you want to calculate. You can use the auto sum, which is also in the formula bar as well. So let's do that, and then you see the calculation. It's actually quite easy, but let's undo that. I'm going to show you a different way of doing this. I'm going to show you the define name feature. The define name feature allows you to substitute different set of data with a particular name. For example, instead of telling Excel to calculate cell B5, C5, D5, and E5, you just tell Excel to calculate the totals for Mario, right? So there's no need to deal with different data in specific. You just tell Excel, tell me what the total of Mario is. So in order to be able to tell Excel that this group of cells should now be known as Mario, you have to highlight the cells and then go to the define name feature under the formula tab, define name, click define name, and you can see here that it is already selected. The name is Mario, and the scope for what is the scope? The scope is the extent to which this feature, this Mario, will be used in Excel. Is it just for this workbook, or is it only when you use the if function or any of the other functions? So for us, we're going to leave it at the default as just for this workbook. And now you can see refers to where do you want, which cells particularly do you want to be referred to as Mario. So it's equals to if function, and it gives you this set of data here. Okay, so let's okay that. Now if I click on the cell F5 and click on the equal sign, sum, I'm going to double click on that, and then I'm going to go to the formula bar and find use in formula. If I click on the drop down, you see I Mario there, because that name has been defined. And click on that, enter, and there you have the total amount for I Mario. So do we have to do that for each and every one of these salespeople, for example? Not really. We can if we wanted to. Let's do one more actually to make that process a little bit more easier. So let's do statue as well. So we select from, we click and highlight cell B6 to E6, and again we go to the formula bar and click on define name, and Excel automatically picks up on that and tells us that this belongs to statue, and the scope is going to be on that workbook. If we wanted to put a comment here, we could, but we don't have to. And under the refers to, it tells us the cells that has been selected. Okay, so we're going to click OK. Now if we click the equal sign and type in the sum function, double click on that just to open the parentheses, then if we go to use in formula, we're going to find statue there. So let's click on that, and now you see it highlighted. If we click enter, we have the totals, the total sales for statue. That's how to do it one at a time. Now we're going to do it all the remainder salespeople at the same time. This time we're going to select the name. Remember when we did this first, we only highlighted the cells with the data, sales figures. Now we're going to select this whole set of data, including the names of the salespeople, because we are trying to define more than one name or more than one group of cells for more than one person. So we're going to select all of them, including the names of the salespeople, and we're going to use, instead of define name, we're going to use create from selection. Okay, so click on that, and then it's asking us create names from values in the left column. The left column is where we have the names of the salespeople. Okay, so we're going to click OK. Nothing seems to happen, but that's not true. Something actually did happen. We'll see that in a second. So let's again calculate the total sale for each of these staff people that we just created, that we just define their names. So again, we click the equal sign, the sum, and then double click on the sum to open the parentheses, and then go to use the formula. Now let's see if we're going to find E bright there. Yes, E bright is right there. So select it and we'll click enter. We do that for Y meter, equal sign, sum, double click to open parentheses, formula tab, use the formula, and we'll find Y meter. So click on it, enter. Equal sign, sum, double click on it, and we go to formula tab, using formula, and we're looking for T Adler. Click on it and enter. So the last one, I'm going to leave that up to you to do. So you complete that and then meet me on the other side. Okay, so welcome back. So now we have done all the calculations, the sum total for each of the salespeople. Now we're going to do the overall total sales for all the salespeople, and that will be in cell F12. All right. In order to do that, it's simple. Now we'll do the equal sign, sum, as you remember, and then we double click to open parentheses, and then we click and select all the cells with the totals for all the salespeople, and then click the enter key. So total sales for all the salespeople is 229,712. The next thing is to calculate the average. The process is similar. Equal sign, average, double click on it, and then we are going to select this whole data point, this whole sales, weekly sales for all the salespeople, and then we're going to click enter. Now we have the average. All right. Okay, so that's done. Now the next goal is to look at the sales target. Do each of the staff people, each of the sales people meet the sales target? Okay, in the next video, we're going to tell Excel to indicate if each of these salespeople actually met the sales target. Meet me on the other side.